صباح الخير. عناوين اليوم: انستقرام تطلق خاصية جديدة، ولبنان يفرض حظر على سفر حاكم مصرف لبنان، وفيت اون كليك تحصل على تمويل جديد. يا أهلا وسهلا فيكم ببرنامجكم صباحكم مع سماشي. معي أنا هالة بسام، ومعنا بخلف الكواليس علي. خلونا نبدأ أخبارنا لليوم ونحكي عن منصة انستقرام اللي دائما معودتنا أنه تطلق ميزات جديدة. عم نشوف ببعض الأحيان بعض الحسابات على انستقرام عم تعمل على تصاميم خاصة مجزأة لتظهر على شكل لوحة مثلا على حساباتهم، ولكن بمجرد إضافة المزيد من الصور ومقاطع الفيديو عم تروح هاي التصميمات يعني في الرياح بسبب تغيير الترتيب في المحتوى الجديد. ولكن الشركة التفتت لهذا الأمر أخيرا، وتحديدا لدعم صناع المحتوى. ووفقا لبعض الصور والتسريبات اللي وصلتنا، بدأت انستقرام بتطوير جديد وميزة جديدة بتمكن المستخدمين من ترتيب الصور مقاطع الفيديو أيضا في حساباتهم بطريقة بتتناسب معهم. بمعنى أنه في حال أراد المستخدم أنه تظهر صورة قديمة مثلا في مقدمة المحتوى أو تايم لاين على حساباتهم، فيمكن سحبها بكل بساطة وتثبيتها في الأعلى لتكون أمام المحتوى اللي نشر بعدها. عم بتقوم فيسبوك أيضا بالسماح للمجموعات والصفحات تثبيت منشورات محددة في المقدمة حسب أهميتها، ليتسنى للجمهور الاطلاع عليها قبل أي محتوى آخر. ويبدو أيضا أنها عم تعمل على طريقة مشابهة في انستقرام، ولكن بالسماح للمستخدمين ترتيب وتثبيت المنشورات والبوستات تبعكم، سواء كانت صور مقاطع فيديو، على حسب رغبتهم بغض النظر عن وقت نشرها على تطبيق انستقرام. تعتبر هذه الطريقة قيد التطوير الآن، وعم تختبرها انستقرام، يعني لسه ما أطلقتها على عامة المستخدمين، وربما تبدأ انستقرام باختبارها لدى البعض في الفترة المقبلة. ومعودتنا انستغرام ايضا انه دائما بتختبر الخاصيات، بتجربها على فئه معينه، وبعدين بعد ما تثبت جدارتها ونجاحها لهذه الميزه بتطلقها للعامه. وربما تؤجل هذه الخطوه الى فتره ابعد في حال لم تتاكد مدى جاهزيتها للمستخدمين، لكنها بكل تاكيد رح تكون منتظره من المستخدمين، وكذلك مثل ما ذكرنا الشركات، العلامات التجاريه، المتاجر، وايضا صناع المحتوى اللي بيرغبوا بتسليط الضوء على محتوى خاص اكثر من غيره، لا سيما في حال كان محتوى ترويجي لبعض مثلا المنتجات المهمة، أو بوست أنتم نشرتوه هذا البوست كان مهم جدا. وأيضا عم نشوف هاي الخاصية بالعديد من المنصات الأخرى مثل تيك توك، فيسبوك مثل ما ذكرنا، اللي هي أو حتى تويتر، اللي هو إنكم تعملوا بن لبوست معين ويكون هذا البوست مهم جدا بالنسبة لكم، ممكن يكون عبر عنكم أو عن إنجازاتكم بشكل كبير جدا. أما إذا بدنا ننتقل إلى لبنان وقضية حاكم مصرف لبنان تحديدا، قالت قاضية لبنانية يوم الثلاثاء تحديدا أن فرضت حظر سفر على حاكم مصرف لبنان رياض سلامة، وهو في بؤرة تحقيقات بشأن تصرفاته بعد أن هوى لبنان في أزمة مالية عميقة تحدثنا عنها بشكل كبير. وبيخضع رياض سلامة اللي قال أنه ليس لديه أي علم بأحدث تحرك عندما سألته بعض المنصات لتحقيقات تجريها السلطات في لبنان وأربع دول أوروبية أيضا، من بينها تحقيق سويسري في مزاعم لغسيل الأموال. نفى رياض سلامة ارتكاب أي مخلفات أثناء العقود الثلاثة منذ تولي منصب حاكم مصرف لبنان، وهو تولى منصب حاكم مصرف لبنان تقريبا في عام 1993، وظل في منصبه حتى مع تداعي الاقتصاد تحت جبل من الديون وانهيار العملة المحلية، وشفنا أيضا انزلاق لشرائح من اللبنانيين إلى الفقر للأسف. وقالت القاضية غادة عون إن الحظر يأتي في إطار تحقيق لبناني ترأسه بشأن تصرفات سلامة، واللي عم تتعرض ولايته كحاكم للبنك المركزي لتدقيق متزايد منذ أن هوى لبنان في أزمة اقتصادية في عام 2019. وأضافت أيضا أن المرحلة القادمة في تحقيقاتها رح تكون استجواب لرياض سلامة. وقال مصدر قضائي أيضا أن التحقيق اللي بترأسه عون يشمل التحقيق في مزاعم بالغش بشكاوى أيضا بحق مصرف لبنان، حاكم مصرف لبنان، من مودعين مثلا لا يستطيعوا الوصول إلى مدخراتهم لدى البنوك اللبنانية اللي أصيبت بالشلل بالفترة الأخيرة. وأضاف أيضا إلى أن التحقيقات بتشمل أيضا عمليات الهندسة المالية اللي انتهجتها البنك المركزي في لبنان أيضا. وأكيد نحن رح نواكبكم بآخر التفاصيل والمستجدات في هذه القضية ومستجداتها تحديدا في لبنان، في الوضع الاقتصادي بلبنان. مثل ما شفنا يعني لبنان تأثر بشكل كبير، سواء كان بالأزمة الاقتصادية بعدها اجت فترة كورونا، أيضا للأسف فاجعة انفجار مرفأ بيروت، كلها أثرت على الاقتصاد اللبناني بشكل كبير جدا. انهيار الليرة اللبنانية يعني خسرت أكثر من تقريبا 80% من قيمتها بالسنوات الماضية. أما عن آخر خبر معنا لليوم ونحكي عن الشركات الناشئة، فتمكنت فيت أون كليك اللي هي منصة للياقة البدنية والعناية بالصحة اللي بتتخذ من الإمارات مقر لها من جمع 1.5 مليون دولار أمريكي بنجاح ضمن جولة استثمارية بري سيريز A بقيادة آرو كابيتال. تأسست المنصة على يد بن سامويل وزوجته أيضا، اللي بتوفر برامج اللياقة البدنية والعناية بالصحة لموظفي أكثر من 200 شركة على حد وصفها. وقامت مؤخرا بإطلاق تطبيق فيتزي، وهو تطبيق مكافآت لتشجيع المستخدمين على ممارسة اللياقة البدنية وأيضا الحركة، حيث يمنح نقاطا هدايا لكل مستخدم على حسب عدد الخطوات. وتعد هذه الجولة الاستثمارية هي الأولى من نوعها للشركة، حيث كان اعتمادها خلال الجولات السابقة على التمويل الذاتي من المؤسسين نفسهم والمساهمين. أيضاً شفنا موضوع اللياقة البدنية والحركة ترند كبير بالفترة الأخيرة، وتحديداً الشركات الناشئة المختصة بهذا النوع، وسببها كان من أحد الأسباب هو فيروس كورونا وانتشاره. صار لدى المستخدمين، لدى الأفراد، وعي كبير بأهمية الصحة وأنه تكون فعلاً أولوية بحياتنا. And we're back with our guest, Alberto, co-founder of FitLove. Thank you for being with us and welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning, Hala. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Good morning to you too. Tell us more about the launch of the application and give us a brief about the new application.
Absolutely. So FitLove is a new application where you can find and book nearby personal trainers. We offer any type of training on demand, so you can book like a typical fitness PT, but also like yoga, boxing, kickboxing, pre-postnatal, you name it. Our concept is almost like a Deliveroo of fitness, where you can just quickly browse the different styles and book easily within a few clicks. And yeah, as you said, we just launched it in December. We're getting like really good traction, and we're very happy to be here with you.
I'm gonna share my experience. I was trying it, the application, and then there's an offer also for like 30 minutes, I believe, like free consultation or something like that. And I immediately got the call as well to apply for that. So that's amazing. Can you tell us more about that as well?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing we realize is sometimes people need a bit of orientation, especially beginners in fitness. Not everybody knows so much the fitness space. And then what we do in our team, we have a couple of specialists, nutritionist and transformation coach, and they help the people know where to start. So that's the free consultation that you were talking about. A lot of people just need to open up about their problems. What are they looking for? And then basically we listen to them and we put a personal program for them so they can begin.
And that's very important because not a lot of people actually know what their body needs and everything. Like some people just go for the gym or a PT because everyone goes for it, but maybe your body needs Pilates at this point or yoga or so yeah. I think it's very important. Can you tell us more about the journey of starting the tech app? Do you have an experience in launching any tech apps, for instance? Because it has a lot of challenges as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for us, it's been almost 3 years in terms of like designing and perfectioning our application. And me particularly didn't have any experience before doing an app or an e-commerce business. It was my first. So I made a lot of mistakes along the journey, but I think that we spotted them quickly and we fixed them quickly. And as you said, I mean, it's difficult. I believe that when a user sees it, it looks more simple than the actual technology and engineering that goes
behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like an app that is as simple as ours, where you can use it very like easy, but at the same time, the logic behind is super complex, and it takes a lot of time to develop and to make it work smoothly.
Exactly. I have a question though, especially with tech apps. Like, do you think you should, as you said, like perfect the app and then launch it, or just launch and improve along the way?
Yeah, I believe the last one is for sure the best way. And launch quickly and learn about what's working, what's not working. That's also what we did in FitLove. Initially, we even launched without an application. So we were a website because websites are cheaper and faster to develop. So we put it out in the market and then we tested to see what's going on. And we realized that we made like several mistakes. So after that, we took the learnings and we developed the app based on what we have seen that works.
How did you figure out the mistakes? Did you listen to customer feedback or family and friends?
Yeah, well, I think it's super important to listen to customer feedback, listen to the demand. What are your users asking? So that is fundamental. But in our case as well, we're a two-sided platform where we have trainers and consumers. So we also need to listen a lot to the trainers. And I think one of the first things we realized in the first year of the company is that our first product was so complex that the trainers were not really understanding, therefore they didn't want to use it. So then we had to go through a wave of like simplifying everything so that we could get traction on both sides.
Yeah, because it's very easy for customers or people to bounce back when there's like difficulty maybe or something like that. But do you think like now, especially with COVID, like a lot of people are going into fitness, they understand the importance of it. Do you think this trend helped your app as well?
Yes, absolutely. For us, 2020, which was the year of COVID, was also like the year that we grew the most as a business. Definitely people were more reluctant to go to the gyms, and it was safer to get a personal trainer to your house. That helped us very much. And then there was also like a huge trend in which people started thinking more about their health and their wellness. And we definitely saw that, because that was a little bit of a mindset change in the head of everybody. And it was a beautiful trend to see. I think it continues today. And it probably will continue in this generation, because it was a very like intense experience that we all went through.
100%. And it's a self-funded startup, right? Like, can you share with us how, like realistically, how did you launch this app and the whole startup?
Yes, absolutely. As you said, we started self-funded. So it was the funds of me and my other co-founder. And that was enough to like launch a first test and see what was working, what was not working. But we were very limited in terms of resources, in terms of hiring people, marketing spend, and so on. So everything we did was like at small scale, but it was enough to experiment, I would say. And that was great, because in our case, we were, me and my other co-founder were still working full time. So we opened the company as a side business. So that was a bit more intense for us in terms of work balance. But that gave us more time, more runway to test and experiment. And later on, when things started picking up and going well, and we found like the way to grow and so on, that's when we got a second investor that came in. It's an angel investor in the region, and then we raised $500,000 from this investor, and that really like changed a lot the company, because we could start doing way more on all fronts.
That's amazing. And a lot of people actually struggle between having a full-time job and then the dream to be an entrepreneur and having your own business. So this is a success story for them and a good example to actually that they can do it.
Yeah, and I think I agree with that. Everybody that is thinking to start a new business, I think you can definitely begin experimenting before quitting your full-time job, if that is like a concern that you have. Obviously, it's not the best. You can progress much faster in your new business if you're full-time. But if this is really like the key mental block for somebody that wants to be an entrepreneur, I think it's the easiest way begin.
100%. What's the biggest challenge you faced in the startup life?
Well, we have faced many to be honest, but I think like one of the biggest is like how to create like a really cool and productive culture within the company you're building. It sounds easier than what it is in real life. When you are 2 employees, your culture is due, but when you become 12, 15 employees, then it really like it's something that is in the DNA, it's in the air in the office, and it really influences everything. I think every startup like that wants to succeed, you need to be very like aware of that, and you know, everybody pushing in the same direction, making better decisions every day, and that is actually quite tough to create. It's a lot of making sure you're hiring the right people, making sure you are coaching your people, you're staying close to them, you're not putting like any barriers to the type of environment that you're trying to create. So it's quite difficult. There's no like playbook on how to do it.
100%. It's experiment, I believe. Is there something that you really dislike, but you still did it anyways in your journey as an entrepreneur?
Something that I dislike, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think going in the same direction, like it's not all happy stories in the startup life. There is like setbacks that happen. There are tough moments you have to go through, and for me, for example, I care a lot about the people that are around me and that work for my company. Not all of them have worked in the sense of fitting well in the company and staying with us. So for me, that was, I mean, it's a tough thing that I've had to do. But I guess like every business owner has to go through that. Yeah. You dislike it, but sometimes you have to do it if it's what you think is best for the business.
That's true. And you said that it's a self-funded startup as well, and you started like with a self-investment between you and the co-founder. As a tech app, what do you think is the minimum amount you can start with to launch?
Yeah. I always say $100,000. That is actually the amount we started with, and I think it's difficult for any tech app business to begin with less than that, because the technology development of any application, even if it looks simple, when you go into the nitty-gritty details, it is way more complex. So I always think that costs at least $20,000 to $30,000 if you are like outsourcing that, and then you still need to have like more budgets to do like marketing, promotion, and operations. So I would say around $100,000. But yeah, this can also be like raised from family and friends, right? It doesn't need to be like your savings of $100K that you're putting on the line and having so much risk.
Exactly. What are your dreams or future plans, let's say, for FitLove?
Yeah, so our ambition is to become the #1 app in the Middle East for fitness and wellness on demand. So today we cover all type of personal training and nutrition as well. We will be adding soon wellness, so enabling like sports massage, acupuncture, and other types of therapies within the same app. And yeah, we believe that there's a huge market in the UAE, but there is also a huge market in the neighboring GCC countries. So our direction is to become the #1 app for that. We have like, I'm really proud of the technology we have. I think that today our application is probably like the most advanced for personal training that I've seen. And we have looked at other like really advanced countries like, you know, the UK, US, and so on. And I think we now need to like take it one level forward. So make it so good that is basically irresistible, and that we can really bring on board all the personal trainers that exist today in the UAE.
That's amazing. Best of luck, and thank you so much, Alberto, for being with us. And hopefully we see FitLove expands in the Middle East and even globally.
Perfect. Hopefully, indeed. Thank you so much, Hala. It was a pleasure.
ثانك يو، شكرا لكل الناس اللي تابعتنا. انا بشوفكم بكره بنفس الموعد، نهاركم سعيد جميعا.